The biggest question I had about these lights that I purchased for my kitchen is how long do they actually last? Because I wanted to have an easy way to transform my space without having to worry about recharging them for every couple of days or changing batteries. So I did a lot of testing, and in this video I'll show you all the features and functions, exactly how long they last, and give you a tip on how to make them last longer. So stay tuned. I have both sizes here, the 10-inch one and the 14-inch one in color white. The light itself has only 3 modes, on, off, and auto. Auto is the one that we prefer, which uses the motion detector to decide when the light needs to be turned on or off. And there's also this dimmer switch that you can control the brightness with. I love that the brightness button is still easily accessible even if they're installed underneath the cabinets like you see here, and this is how it changes the intensity. My favorite part, they are magnetic, which means they're super easy to take on and off. These are the adhesive strips that will attach to your surface on one side and then the magnets on the other side, and these are rechargeable. You have your USB-C cables provided. I use my regular USB-C cable that I have for my iPhone, and here's how they charge. If you want them to be attached even stronger, you have these little screws that you could use instead of the adhesive. The surface that we have here, adhesive, works just fine. They're not super heavy, so I don't expect them to fall off. And once installed, as you can see, they're practically invisible underneath the cabinet. They take up no space at all, and I love how stylish that makes my kitchen look. Now, how long do they actually last in our kitchen, which is a very high traffic area and is pretty dark in general, so it reacts to our movement quite sensitively. So in our case, the lights stay on in the auto function for about a week without having to get recharged. On the contrary, in spaces like our pantry and our cleaning closets, which we open only on demand, these lasted more than 30 days without having to get charged, which is impressive to me. So here's a tip how to make them last longer. You have the same exact lights here. However, you see on this one, I put a piece of Scotch tape over the motion sensor, covering half of it. And whenever I place them here under the cabinets, I'll make sure that the covered half is closer to me. This way, the sensor does not react so much when I pass by. If I had this light without the covered motion sensor here, it will be super sensitive and reacting to any movement. By the way, it takes 14 seconds for the lights to turn off. There it is. So if I pass by this area, as you can see, it turned on right away. However, the one with the covered motion sensor here will not react until I actually come closer. I'll be passing by and then lights will not react until I actually come closer and put my hand underneath or do some movement under the cabinet. Depending on the area in the kitchen, we have some of the lights turning on automatically like this one on the left, and some of them are with the covered motion sensor like this, so that we can control how often it turns on. With this method that I just talked about, we're now charging them about every 3 weeks instead of it being once a week. One more pretty cool thing to call out about these lights is that they lose their charge gradually, so they will actually start losing brightness a little bit by little, so that you can tell when to charge them instead of them dying right away. So if you're looking for a budget-friendly way to elevate your space without having to worry about recharging or replacing batteries a million times, I highly recommend you check out these lights. They definitely elevated my space here, and I'm super happy with them.